Welcome to you all. It's great to see everybody. Another beautiful day in Louisville. It's going to be. It's going to be. I think sun by the end of the day. Coach has practice, right? So it'll warm up for Coach. It may not warm up, but it'll be at least maybe sun. All right, this is the October 30th meeting of the Rotary Club of Louisville. We need to pause and remember a Rotary family member lost this week, a beloved Rotary member, Barry Sears. He passed away in his sleep Monday. He was 65. He joined our club in June 2023. Denise has been in our club for a while, and we love Denise, so our heartfelt condolences to Denise as she faces the loss of her husband. Visitation is this afternoon, 3 to 7 at Ratterman on Lexington, St. Matthews, and the service will be there as well tomorrow at 11 a.m. So just please join me in a moment of silence. Providing our invocation today, Steve Jester, Club Director, Co-Chair of the Gun Violence Reduction Committee, and Paula Harris Fellows.
I am co-moderator of the Invocation Committee and responsible for appointing people to offer invocations. And when I heard who was speaking today, I decided to appoint myself because I'm a huge baseball fan and live and die with the teams. And also just want to say, Coach, that there is a book that has the greatest title ever for a book, and it expresses my sentiments, Why Time Begins on Opening Day. Let us pray in that spirit. God of mystery and of wonder, whose ways are beyond our imagining, whose surprises are ever new. Thank you for the gift of play, for times of letting loose and letting go, times to marvel at the beauty of sacred spaces, time to be amazed at what human bodies can do. Thank you for opportunities to remember the carefree days of childhood, for bittersweet moments of hope and heartbreak, for the great gift of teamwork and teammates, a community of support and care. And in our celebrations of play, may we who are full remember the hungry. May we who are comfortable remember the cold. May we who are satisfied and safe remember all who live in fear and despair. And in remembering, may we commit ourselves to their well-being and the healing of this wonderful world you have given to us. Amen.
Thank you, Steve. I'm a big baseball fan too. Saturday likely is it's a sad day because it likely is the last day of baseball. 7th game of the World Series. I'm expecting we'll go 7 games. At least we can turn our clocks back Saturday and have an extra hour to enjoy whatever happens. All right, to lead us in the pledge and four-way test, Kathy Galecki Sanders. He's the Executive Director of Kentucky Historical Society Foundation, Chair of the Imagination Library Committee. Go lightly.
More people remember Go Lightly than Sanders, so I kept my maiden name on. So please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now our four-way test. Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better
Rotarians, if you have a guest with you today, please come to the microphone and introduce them. And guests, please stand.
Hey, President Ken, Walt Kuno, Vanderbilt, former baseball school, now football. My guest today is Dr. Mark Pfeiffer. He's a dear friend of mine. He just retired from the University of Louisville. He's Chief Medical Director and Interim Dean of the Medical School, and just a really good golfer and good buddy.
Hello, President Ken. My name is Ginger Wallace, United States Air Force retired. My guest today is Tim Nicolazzi. Tim is a program analyst at the Louisville's Office of Housing and Urban Development, so he's not real busy doing that right now. But he is also a veteran, which is how we met. He is a former member of the Peace Corps, worked in Ukraine, and he's also a former member of our club. So we're trying to lure him back.
Hello, President Ken. Josh Suter with Indiana University Southeast. My guest today is Dr. Jill Gaines, our Director of Recruitment.
Good afternoon, President Ken and fellow Rotarians. My guest today is Suzanne Ramsey. Suzanne is a software developer, and she is open to opportunities. She's also my Cardinal fan partner and crime coach. We go to games together.
And also with St. Joseph Children's Home. I also brought my cards watching fan, my dad, Ron Alsop. He is retired from Humana.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm also Leanne from Marion County Government Private Wealth Management, and honored to introduce Wendy with an E. Wendy Cosby is with Republic Bank in the business banking sector. Her career started in 2001 when she was 5, and also a big part of this family.
Hello, President Ken. Brett Corbin with R.W. Baird, and a very bruised and battered Reds fan. So include me in the prayer next week if you could. My guest is Ashley Isaac. She's a marketing executive with WDRB Television.
Hi, President Kent, fellow Rotarians. My guest today is Dr. Bob Fox. Bob is a fabulous dentist here, a great guy. I'm going to try to lure him into the club if I can. But he's my guest today, and so we'll do a buddy as well.
Hey, Marty, can you stand? All the new guests here are going to meet with you after the meeting, right? At the What is Rotary table, and you're going to convince them to stay. All right, we have some Rotarians to spotlight today. Congrats to Gil Holland. Gil, stand and take a bow. I know I've seen you, maybe not. Okay. Big announcement, a new $37.5 million mixed-use development in Portland that includes renovating 164,000 square feet of the historic Luminal building. The complex will feature 138 apartments, a fitness center, clubhouse, community room, and outdoor kitchen area. Nearly 20,000 square feet of commercial space as well. Congratulating people that aren't here. I didn't see Kurt Jacobs here, but congrats to him. He's inducted into the Atherton High School Hall of Fame. Recognizing his outstanding civic leadership and professional accomplishments as the creator and host of Moxie Talk with Kurt Jacobs. Barbara.
Yes.
Wait a second, I have to just say you're going to share information about Canopy later today, but I'm supposed to give you a heads up right now that the cutoff for registration for next week is 1 o'clock today, so you're allowed to go and do that right now, in case you haven't, because the meeting won't be here next week, it'll be at Kick. All right, we're also going to do a drawing for this bottle of bourbon at the end of our meeting, and for 500 Paul Harris Fellow points. If you haven't donated yet to a World Polio Day fundraiser, you can do that now and potentially win those prizes. QR codes at your table, that's the funny looking dot there. You can cash Amy. Where's Amy? Amy and Deline will also take your check. If you remember, we had to throw down. President Lori was able to bag $5,000 last year. We can't let her not at least equal that. We do have many veterans in our club, and we want to make sure you know about the Kentucky Veterans Parade. It's next Saturday, November 8th at 11 in the morning in Nulu. It's our chance to thank our veterans for their service and sacrifice, and following the parade will be lots of family-friendly fun, including opportunities for kids to check out a tank and military vehicles from as far back as World War II. It's our turn to host the annual Joint Rotary Kiwanis Club Thanksgiving celebration. It'll be right here in this room Tuesday, November 25th. Tuesday, 25th. Thursday, we're going to be home with our family. Our speaker will be Reverend Dr. Andrew Pomerville, the president of Louisville Seminary, who will share his thoughts on gratitude. This is also when we kick off the annual Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign, or the Battle of the Bells, as we like to call it. Links to register to one of the shifts at the Holiday Manor Kroger on 3 Saturdays in December, the 6th, 13th, and 20th, are on our website, or you can just see George Breakmeyer, who is here. George in the red sweater, already Christmassy, and Louis Seeger. They will help you sign up. And friends and family are welcome. My wife usually comes. She knows students and parents of students who give her the money. So I bring her and just watch her in action. Our Rotary annual meeting and holiday party will be Wednesday, December 3rd. Put that on your calendar at the Hurstbourne Country Club. RSVP link will be live soon. We'll announce the outcome of our election for 2026-27 officers and directors at the meeting. Watch for the information about the candidates in the voting process next month. Barbara's getting ready to have her nomination meeting right after this meeting. So. Our social activities committee is collecting prizes for that party, so please see Mackenzie White or Jeff Underhill if you have something you would like to donate for the party. The committee has also organized a Rotary Day at Actors Theater. That's Saturday, December 6th, a matinee showing of A Christmas Carol, so you can see the show, and then that night watch Louisville in the ACC Championship football in Charlotte. We'll give you more information on that, so be looking for that. And as always, just go to LouisvilleRotary.org. There's lots of other events and opportunities. And as always, follow us online on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, Barbara, come on up. Barbara's the interim executive library director for another month, I guess, or so. A couple weeks.
I think she comes next Monday.
All right.
No, 10th.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Louisville Metro Government, Paul Harris Fellow +8. He's going to induct 3 new members.
Okay. All right. Then, yes, round of applause for the best darn friend president. All right, so inducting 3 new members today. I want to invite to join me here at the podium. Let's see. I think it's to my left to start out with. That would be Karen Chatham, Leanne Alsop, and Melanie Higgs. Now, I'm trusting while you're making your way forward, y'all all watch the training video. You got to stand in alphabetical order, and the alphabetical order is by first name, not last name. Coach, I'm just saying, it gets pretty tricky up here. So that, let me help you out. Karen, you're first. Karen, you're on my left. Leanne, you're next, and then, yes, that's good. Melanie, you know M is after L. Very good. Now, we'll figure out in a moment where your sponsors are going to stand, because they're supposed to stand next to you as well at some point. Sponsors, stay awake, stay paying attention. I'll give you your instructions as you're walking up here. Fellow Rotarians and distinguished and honored guests and our illustrious speaker, It is my honor and my privilege to welcome 3 new members to our club. And we seek to grow our membership in Rotary so that we may not only increase our impact here locally, but regionally and really all across this beautiful globe that we inhabit together. And we try to unite for good in all that we do. Now, to our new members, I say to you, you have been elected into a very prestigious membership in our club because we believe each of you possess the qualities and the characteristics that will lead you to exemplify the great 4-way test that we live by in all we think, say, and do. And now, for the big ooh-ah moments, you are being inducted into not only the 12th largest out of more than 45,000 Rotary clubs in the world, but the 10th largest Rotary club in the United States of America. Ooh-ah! We think a lot about the size of our club, but I will tell you this. I have traveled for 4 times out of our city in this last year, preparing for my role to follow President Ken next year. No one meets the impact that this club meets. You should all raise your right hands. I'll be back with y'all in a moment. Raise your right hands. Raise them up, Rotarians. Come on, raise them up. Turn them around and pat yourself on the back. Y'all know what that means. Okay. Rotary membership is going to add value to your life and in all things you do as you engage, whether it's by attending the meetings, joining one of the committees, which I hope you will do right away if you've not already done that, and then participating in our service projects, and then sharing your experience and your knowledge, and recruit others to join you in service above self. Now, it's my honor to officially induct each of you. Are you ready? You're going to get a pin. You're going to get to talk about yourself. And your sponsors are going to join you. Sponsors, I need y'all to join me up here. Robert Chapman. Okay, now, Karen, you're going to take over the microphone. Yes. Did they tell you that in video? Unfortunately. Okay, so each of our new members are going to talk about themselves. So Karen takes the microphone first. Robert, please come stand on Karen's left and take the pen. Get the pen in your left hand from Ken. Lord have mercy. John Bush, we're going to have training video for all this. Here we go. Karen Chatham.
Karen, here you go.
I'm Karen Chatham, happily married to Robert Chatham, and yes, I was paid to say that. I truly believe that I'm being offered an opportunity to join this club, a body of community leaders, and I really feel honored. I've moved often, which has left me in a position of having several different jobs throughout my life. Branch banking, office management, account management, lots of different things, but it's also given me the opportunity to do a wide variety of volunteer because every community I was in a different position and had different options. So I've been club presidents before, I've been the an HOA and a Sierra Club treasurer. And I did a lot of volunteering either for the school or the classroom as my children were growing up. Once Rob joined Rotary, I tried to participate in all of the community service projects, both here and in California, that the clubs have been involved in, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. Plus, he's traveled around, as we've traveled around, we've attended other Rotary clubs as well, and I can honestly say that the experiences with this club are far more impactful than any of the others that I've ever seen. So this is really exciting for me. I attended a conference last week, and one of the main points of the conference was that we can always accomplish more as a group than we can as individuals. So that also makes me extremely happy to be part of an organization that does so much. Jane Goodall once said, "You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference
and you have to decide what kind of a difference you're going to make. I hope to make a positive difference here to help the club, to help the community, and hopefully we'll all help the world become a better place in the process. Thank you. Those of you in the back of the room, he is bestowing upon her left shoulder the white, blue, gold enamel, fake gold enamel. Was that a kiss? Oh my Lord, that's the first time we've had the sponsor kiss the member. Okay, you just step over there, all right. Okay, Leanne Alsop, come on up. Bring your sponsor, Ginger Wallace, with you. Leanne, before she bestows your pin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't know how I follow that. Hi, I'm Leanne Alsop. So I currently serve as the Director of Development at St. Joseph Children's Home, where I help to raise funds to support the kids that live there who have suffered severe trauma. For more than a decade, I've worked in both nonprofit and educational settings, leading programs that foster inclusion and connection. Recently, I had the privilege of serving as board chair for Best Buddies in Kentucky, and I'm a member of the External Relations Committee for Volunteers of America Mid-States. Both are organizations that deeply align with my passion to build a stronger, more inclusive community. I'm a proud graduate of the University of Louisville, where I earned my degree in elementary education. I started my career out as a special ed teacher. Outside of work, I love spending time cheering on the cards with my dad and running. I look forward to meeting you all, making connections to help serve our community and our great city of Louisville. Thank you.
All right, Ginger, hand over that fabulous pin and step behind the podium to my right. Come on down, Vernon Foster, with your new member. All right, are you ready, Melanie? All right, fellow Rotarians, let me introduce Melanie Higgs. Here you go, tell us about yourself.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to join Rotary. I'm very excited. My name is Melanie Higgs. I currently serve as the Director of Graduate Admissions in the Business School at University of Louisville. I have a career of about a decade in higher education, always focused in admissions and recruiting roles. My favorite thing about working at the university and working in higher ed is just watching the transformation of students. When you work in admissions, you help them open the door to future career opportunity, to networking, and to growth. So it's amazing to see that from start to finish when they graduate. Personally, I am a proud alumni of UofL. I did my bachelor's in psychology. I then went on to pursue an MBA from Concordia University, St. Paul. I ended up working at UofL shortly after that as an MBA recruiter, so I'm really passionate about the MBA programs. Personally as well, I have a family. I'm a mom of 2 young children. I have a 5-year-old little boy, a little girl who's 2, and then I'm happily married to my husband, Tyler. So thank you all.
While Vernon's sponsor is giving the pin, the rest of you will step to the front of the podium. That's the front of the podium. That's what was in the training flyer. Okay, President Ken, you're to come over here, and then everybody is going to shift left in the front of the podium. Shift left because Delene is wanting the Rotary backdrop. Shift Ken, shift Ken. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, hold on.
Got it, Delene? Delene, do we have it? Okay. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right.
Shout out to Kevin for always taking great pictures. There are other new members in the past year in the room. I have seen you, so if you want to stand and be recognized right now. Last year, if you've been a new member, stand. Yeah, there we go. It's exciting, all these new members. We do have a veteran member I want to call up, Nancy Jo Trafton, Director of Marketing and Communication at Indiana University Southeast, Vice Chair of the Public Image and Communications Committee, and a Paul Harris Fellow, +2. She's our Rotarian profile today.
Thank you, President Ken.
This is
really a very great opportunity and for me to talk to you a little bit about my Rotary story, because 31 years ago this week, yes, I would say I was 12 years old at the time, but that violates the first tenet of the four-way test. But 31 years ago this week, I attended my first Rotary meeting with my Rotarian father, who was visiting, in Elmira, New York, and was asked to join. And it's been a wild ride, a wonderful ride, and something that's very enjoyable. My very first year, our little club of 40 was planning the Rotary Convention. And I learned more about Rotary that first year than most members learn in their entire life. We planned a gala, 3-day gala in the Poconos for 1,000 people, and it was a fabulous, fabulous thing. Rotary became my anchor and provided a lot of support as my job moved me around the country. My next stop on my tour with Gannett was in Port Huron, Michigan, where I joined the Fort Gratiot Rotary Club, and I served as president from 2000 to 2001. What was unique up there is that district, 6310, was truly an international district that had clubs in both Michigan and in southern Ontario. Then I went off to Lafayette, Indiana, where I was president from 2010 to 11 in the Lafayette Daybreak Club, and began serving as a district trainer for 6350 or 6560. That next brought me here to Louisville in 2012. And in my early years, upon moving here, I did serve as a trainer for RLI and Mid-South Pets, and really have enjoyed everything about Rotary and what it is all about. My advice to our new Rotarians today, but also in the past year, is to get involved and learn more about Rotary and really dive in. Use this as a connector, a way to help you not only personally, but in your career, because that's the most valuable asset that Rotary brings to you. It's why Paul Harris started Rotary in the first place. So that is something that you really need to do, and spread the feeling of Rotary in everything you do. God knows we need a more compassionate world right now, and Rotary exemplifies that, and is something that we can do. And then, of course, get involved not only in Rotary and the clubs, committees, and projects that we do, but get involved in the community as well. For me, I serve on the board of Kentucky Derby Festival. I'm a past board member for the Kentucky Humane Society, and I still serve as a medical and behavioral foster family, primarily for cats and kittens. But the main thing is to get involved and then use the connections, get to know everybody here, and let's help make this a better place to live and work. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, now we get to our big guy, Dan. I mentioned the Dodgers. If they win tomorrow and Saturday, it'll be their second straight World Series win. And one of their key players is an all-star catcher, Will Smith, a former Cardinal, and his backup, Dalton Rushing, is a former Cardinal. They're just two of the 111 Major League ball players that have been drafted since Dan became the coach. One of them was a #1 pick 4 years ago, another catcher, Henry Davis. So Dan's a pretty good baseball coach. He's an exceptional leader, obviously a terrific recruiter, and he's an accomplished winner, and he's even a better person. He will surpass 800 career wins at Louisville this season, and this season is his 20th season with the Cardinals, and he will likely win more than 40 games this year. It'll be the 15th time he would have done that in 20 years. That's pretty impactful. Last year, the Cardinals had a young team last year, and they still got to the College World Series. It was quite an entertaining, fun year. It was the 6th time that a Dan team made it to the College World Series. That's pretty remarkable. He's won 10 conference titles. He's made it to the NCAA Super Regional 10 times. And he'll come up and say, well, his coaches did all that work too, and they probably did. So, but he has the third highest winning percentage among all active Division I baseball coaches. I meant to look up to see if the Tennessee guy was one of those three, so if he was, maybe you're number 2 now. And he's won National Coach of the Year twice. National Coach of the Year twice. He's won the ACC Coach of the Year 3 times. He did play baseball collegiately at the Citadel and was an assistant coach for 14 years with the Citadel and Ole Miss. And he and his wife Julie have 2 sons, and I'll let him tell you the rest because he's got great stories to tell. Welcome.
It's an honor to be here, and as he mentioned, my wife and I, Julie, of course, we love this community going on 20 years, and always inspires me to be with people who are all about serving, loving, serving, doing for others in the community. So when I speak to groups, I often like to share, they like to hear, hey, what are you guys doing with the team, or what was the theme last year? And so I'm going to give you some coach speak here, just to really challenge and motivate. And I really think it aligns with what the Rotary Club is. I don't think we're doing a whole lot different in terms of what our mission is. I'm dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds. Obviously, you are all dealing with a wider range, but you're doing so much for the community. So I like to title this, Let's Be About Winning, because we have an opportunity to win every day. We're not going to necessarily feel like we've won every day, but one of our key phrase statements is let's win the day. And so today is a beautiful day and an opportunity to win that day. 2 summers ago, before last year's successful run, I showed this video that we pulled off from a basketball coach, and I thought it was so appropriate that we showed it again this August at the first team meeting.
If you're about winning, like every decision you make when you get up every day, if it ain't about winning, it ain't right. I go to class and I'm on time and I sit in the front row. If you ain't sitting in the front row, you ain't about winning. I shake my teacher's hands and I thank them for each class and the work they put in, because as much as work as we put in on scouting reports, those teachers put in to preparing their lessons in order to teach you every day in class. Show up early to practice and get my body ready to practice. If you ain't showing up early and getting ready to practice, you ain't about winning. If you're not staying after and getting treatment and getting up extra shots and coming back at night, and when I ask the managers who gets in the gym the most and who does it, if they're not calling your name, you ain't about winning. And if you ain't about winning, it ain't gonna work. Because I'm about winning. And I challenge you, if any of you think that I'm doing something that ain't about winning, come sit in my office and tell me. Because I'm coachable. But it's about winning. Everybody in our program gonna be about winning. Right? Every coach, every manager, every GA, every staff member is gonna be about winning.
And so one of our goals this year is to win the 2026 ACC Championship. And so we show that video before the first day of class back in August, because our players know that we want to win in all areas of our life. We have a saying we use a lot in our program, and it's at the bottom of the screen there, and it says, how you do anything is how you do everything. And what we're trying to get across here is a goal of excellence. And obviously I'm coaching talented young baseball players, maybe coming out of high school or junior college, and so it's pretty clear where they want to be excellent right out of the chute from an athletic standpoint and the baseball goals that they have. I want them to understand my belief to be successful is we're not just going to focus on the baseball areas, and we're going to focus on all these other areas too. And I think it's very appropriate when you're speaking to the Rotary Club of Louisville that we're talking about the community. And whether they're local kids, which is always a blessing to coach kids from Louisville, kids from Southern Indiana, kids from the state of Kentucky. But we're also getting many kids from the Midwest and the Northeast, and now with the transfer portal, we'll even get a couple kids from California, and I have an opportunity to get them to not just appreciate the Louisville community, but to love this community. And so one of our goals is we've been #1 in community service of all Division I sports. And usually the year we achieve this, it's an added element when I'm able to take the team to the Dominican Republic, and we do, I call it a baseball/mission trip. But you're only allowed to do that once every 4 years. So my message to the players is, hey guys, a flame is lit inside of us when we come back from a mission trip. Now our goal, our challenge is to keep the flame lit. And so we're very diligent about them getting involved in the community with national brands, of course, like Susan G. Komen and the Miracle League, but also, and Gilda's Club, these national brands that are very popular in Louisville, but of course we also have St. Joseph Children's Orphanage right there on the bottom right, which love getting our kids involved in the community. So if there's an area that you're interested in, or you think baseball players might be a good representation, don't hesitate. Chris Morgan, our FCA director, spearheads a lot of our community service projects, but if people just come to me and give me your name and give me some information, I can definitely pass it on, because we're always looking for our players to get involved with this awesome community. Of course, the one thing I can promise them when I'm recruiting them, the highest percentage is I can help you get a degree. Not by myself, but I'm so confident of the support system that we have here in place. I can't promise we'll play in Omaha. I can't promise you'll make it to the big leagues. There are chances of that happening, but I'm very confident we can get you a degree with our support system right here in place. And so mandatory class attendance, mandatory study hall, the great resources we have on this campus, everyone's involved, from our academic coordinator to our coaching staff. And our players know when we're recruiting them here that there's a standard of excellence here. There's 22 sports on our campus. We had the highest male team GPA on campus, but the field hockey girls trumped us on the overall team GPA. So we're chasing the field hockey girls, as well as a lot of the student athletes do great here on campus. But the players know that there's a standard here. So again, how you do anything is how you do everything. And we're just trying to create, excellence becomes a way of life. It's not a pick and choose type of moment. I think we can all look at areas of our lives that we're good at, maybe great at, but we probably have some areas in our life where we might fall a little short. And I think the challenge is, how do we become excellent in all those areas? Because whether we're husbands, or wives, or dads, or moms, or grandparents, or aunts, or uncles, or business leaders, or part of a church, there's ways that we can get more involved and improve in areas that we might fall a little short. Of course, kids are coming here a lot baseball driven, and so what we're trying to help them is say, hey, we have a proven system of, guys, we can win as we get the right players, come here for the right reasons, with the right support. The goal, of course, is to go to the College World Series, and it was a blessing that I was able to experience as a student athlete. And so when I got into coaching, it was like, man, I hope I can get to a school one day where we can help kids get to Omaha, and so much fun being a part of a team and an organization and seeing how the families and the fans enjoy that. And then, their goal, of course, is to play professionally with a chance to be a big leaguer one day. I often ask recruits when I'm talking to them, and whether it's a Zoom call or they're in the office, how many Division I baseball teams do you think there are? And I would think somebody in this room probably has a pretty good idea. Anybody want to take a stab? How many Division I baseball programs are there in the country? Somebody. 100. More than that? 300. All right, someone yelled 300. So, and they change year to year. There's actually 307 Division I baseball programs. So we want to make sure when we're recruiting a young man and his family, again, how you do anything is how you do everything. Like if you're choosing to come here, we want to make sure you're coming here for the right reasons. We have to make sure you know what you're getting involved with. And we have to show them that, hey, you're coming here to win. And I have to make sure they understand, when you come here to win, we're going to try to win off the field first and let those values in the way of our life carry over onto the baseball field. I read this to our players every year, and I share it with companies whenever I speak in front of them. This was the first coaching book that I ever read at the age of 23. And it's from Lou Holtz's championship season. And that was the first line in chapter 5. And it hit me right on the forehead when I read that line, because I had just spent 4+ years in Charleston, South Carolina. As they mentioned, I went to the Citadel. I grew up in Port Chester, New York. So a kid who grew up in New York his whole life had just spent 4 years in Charleston, South Carolina. To this day, my nickname is Yank. Okay, short for Yankee. And I spent 4 years with mostly Southern kids. And my language, my U's became y'all. Right? My T became very sweet. And I got used to that Southern way. And I saw the change in my life and realized, okay, if I'm going to be the coach that I want to be, if I'm going to be the husband that I want to be, if I'm going to be the father that I want to be, these two areas are going to be critical in my life. What am I reading and who am I associating with? Now, I've added over the years, sometimes I'll put a third caveat in there, obviously this phone that we carry around. And that goes in line sometimes with what are we reading as to the influence that is on this phone. And we just have to choose wisely. One thing I do for my players, since I had a legendary coach who did it for me, is I try to help them read. Okay, so what I do is I pick a book for the year, and we will cover this book the entire season. Meaning every practice schedule will have a quote from this book. All right. The reason we chose this book, it's a really neat story how Mike Krzyzewski, a college basketball coach, really was hired during a time where we had lost our grasp on being dominant in the game of basketball. The world had passed us by. We invented the game of basketball. Yet we were showing up at national events, and we were finishing anywhere from 3rd to 6th. In the Olympics, in world championships. And so Jerry Colangelo said, I'm going to hire this college guy, and it's going to take us 3 years, and we're going to get USA basketball back on top. And what's really cool was he did it with the best players, arguably in the world, and some of the greatest players to ever play the game. So we share a lot of stories with our players about LeBron James and the late Kobe Bryant, and we talk about how they had to come together as a team. There's a great story in the book from a gentleman, Chris Redd, played with the Milwaukee Bucks, and they were playing the Bulls, and so he drove over after practice, and Jerry Colangelo opened the door and he and Coach Krzyzewski were going to interview this NBA basketball player. And this basketball player had a bag over his shoulder, and Jerry Colangelo welcomed him in. He said, can I excuse myself to use the restroom? And he went in the restroom, and what he did was he got out of his sweatsuit, and he put on a suit and a tie. And he walked back into the room, and he said, now I'm ready to meet with you guys. And it was such a sign of respect that I want to be a part of something special. And so I share these stories with my 18 to 22-year-old kids because they need to hear that. They need to be encouraged. They need to be motivated. They need to be challenged. I brought a copy of last year's book, which you guys are more than welcome to auction off, and it's called Chasing Excellence. And I think this is even a better book for men and women to read. It's from a trainer, CrossFit trainer, and I knew nothing about CrossFit training, not that I do it, but a former player had recommended that, Coach, read this book, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it for the team, and I did. And this CrossFit trainer takes us through 3 of his athletes in a year, the commitment levels they make to be what you would call a world champion. And so, great principles, and I always say, most coaching books, if we call them coaching books and we use them for teams, they really apply to all of us. Like, you don't have to be a baseball coach or a basketball coach or a CrossFit trainer to really benefit from one of these books. I promise you, they're very informative. People ask me a lot about the success we've been blessed to have, and I can clearly see a couple signs when we do have those special years. And I think, as I'm good friends with Pastor Brown, it's very similar to our Christian beliefs in that we're successful, man, when there's a lot of love on the team. It is such a powerful word. And when I see that amongst our players, amongst our program, it definitely increases our chances of success. The other word is others. And again, it's very similar, and I believe, to the Christian walk about love, serve, and others. Man, when we're about our teammates and we're not so much self-centered about ourselves, it's amazing how much we can accomplish. I believe Karen had a great quote when she stood up here earlier, and she talked about, the challenge of today, I'm setting out to do something for somebody else. And we have a neat tradition in our program. A shirt hangs in the dugout. And so if we're 9-2, we'll have a shirt with the number 10 hanging in the dugout. And the message is, all we're focusing on is this game today. The goal is to win number 10. Don't worry about the ACC championship or going to Omaha and all those things. Let's just focus on trying to win number 10. If we're fortunate enough to win number 10, we'll walk out to right field after we shake hands, and I will flip the shirt. You could call it the MVP. You could call it to Tucker Biven because, he or Patrick Forbes threw 6-7 innings and they gave up 1 run. Right? You could give it to Eddie King or Zion Rose because they hit a 3-run homer, and you could probably pick as a fan who's going to get the shirt today. Most times, I think we could be on the same page. That's what you love about baseball. Like, you kind of have an idea as to when I should bunt, when I shouldn't bunt, and you could criticize the baseball coach probably as much as anybody, right? If you really understand the game of baseball, it's not rocket science what we're doing. We're just trying to make good decisions at the right times, and they don't always work. But the coolest thing we do is after I make some announcements and I flip the shirt to the so-called MVP, we take our hats off and we have a silent prayer. And when we stand up from our prayer, whoever wins the shirt, he then has to give the shirt to somebody else. He has to say, I'm thanking you today. And it's really cool to see, like, the starting pitcher give the shirt to the catcher, give the shirt to the bullpen catcher, the guy who just warmed you up before the game, give it to the trainer or a manager or a strength coach. On Mother's Day and Father's Day, the rule is you have to give the shirt to mom or dad when you win. So I really hope we win on those days, all right? Because, Mother's Day is during the season. Father's Day, you have to be in Omaha. So it's really cool. It's really cool if they can win the shirt. They have to give the shirt to mom or dad. And so on this particular day, if you remember This was when we beat Oregon State and eliminated Oregon State. Our star shortstop, Alex Alisea, made a crucial error with the bases loaded. And the wheels were coming off the track. It wasn't looking good. So I walked to the mound just to try to calm everybody down. It's amazing, sometimes they calm me down. And Tucker Biven was cool as a cat. And Tucker just said, "Coach, I got this." And he looked at Alex. Alex couldn't lift his head. I mean, he was distraught. My star shortstop made a crucial error at a time in the game where it looked like we could lose this game. And so Tucker was so committed, saying, "Alex, you have saved me so many times. I got you. Don't worry, we're fine." And Tucker ends up striking out the next two batters, and he gets the third guy to pop up. We don't give up another run. What you love about the game of baseball is very similar to life. You get more opportunities. Alex was the leadoff hitter that inning, and he worked a walk, and he came around, and Eddie King hit the sac fly, and he ended up being the winning run. But Eddie was the MVP of the game, and I kind of knew after the prayer who was going to end up with the shirt. And so Eddie gave the shirt to Alex to say, "We wouldn't even be here if it weren't for you. Like, it's okay when you make an error. Like, we got you." And when you create that kind of mindset, not just in baseball, right, but in companies, how about in our families, when we have each other, it's amazing how much more you can accomplish. It's hard to not brag about local stars. You know, Adam Duvall goes to Butler High School, and he comes here, and for him to win a World Series was so special.
Over to Valdez, game one. It's in the air right. Back at the wall. Grand slam. To the wall. 2-0 Atlanta.
And so when Adam hit this grand slam in Game 5, I didn't think I was going to go see him. I kind of have a rule. I don't go see our players in the World Series when they're playing at home, because their home is where they have family and friends, and they're limited tickets. And so I try to never put that burden on them. So Coach Mundorf and I were scheduled to go see Game 6 in Houston. He hits his grand slam in the first. I don't think they're making a Game 6. So I'm super excited that he hit a grand slam, but selfishly I'm like, darn, I'm not going to get to go to the World Series. Well, what you love about baseball is the Astros ended up winning that game. And so there was a Game 6. So Coach Mundorf and I did fly to Houston, and we were there when they did clinch and they won the World Series. And he's such a great representative of our, not just our athletic department, but our university and our city. Of course, you know, Ken was talking about this guy, grew up here from KCD, and I was able to do a story with him yesterday on the news, and man, I keep calling him a kid, because one, he's got that baby face, it just looks, I mean, he's gonna be happy when he's like our age, right, and he still looks so young, but I just always remember these guys when they were in high school and in college, and last year, growing up from New York, and I'm a diehard Yankees fan, I was not going to LA, but I was going to fly to New York for Game 5, and so I got to make sure my older brother knew, hey, like, we're sitting with the Dodgers tonight, so like you can't be rooting for the Yankees. And we sat with the Dodgers, and of course we were rooting for Will, and they won. So I try to tell our players, like, I'm really good luck if I come watching the World Series, because more times than not you win. But this was against my Mets, if I can say I root for the Mets and the Yankees.
Pretty low downside, too. Smith works a high drive to center field. Taylor back. Here it is. Gone.
And it's just amazing that two of our most successful big leaguers are local kids that grew up here. And again, I know they're just so proud to be from this community and so involved and wanting to give back. Nowadays, to get these great players, we obviously need help. It's been really different these past few years, and it went sideways for a couple years, but this year we tried to put some parentheses around it, and I'm super excited that, name, image, and likeness, a win-win situation, how companies are going to be able to partner with our baseball players, and hey, if you do this, this, and this, we'd love to help you and support you. And so it's a challenge that we're faced with right now, but I feel like we've got good momentum, and it's an area that we're going to do well in. Our dugout club, there are people here who have been consistent members of our dugout club. This is our family, right? This is our baseball family. I see John Cunningham sitting there. People who've been a part of our baseball family. It's so cool because they know when they support this club, it goes to the program. And it's been, as we're so proud of this community, I think our community has heard loud and clear, like, we need you now more than ever. Like, we can't do this on our own. And at the end of the day, really, what can you do special in life on your own? This club is so strong because of the community, not because of one person. No disrespect, Ken or Barbara. It's the community, man. It's the strength comes from the people and the support, and that's what makes this such a great Rotary club. And so I'm confident and I'm optimistic moving forward that this community will continue to love on us and surround us and support us. And so, but I'm always a win-win type of guy. So, as I always teach my players, don't have your hand out. It's not the way the world works. Like, serve first, right? Look to serve before you expect others to serve you. And so, whether it's a community service project and you'd like us to get involved, my email is dan@gocards.com. Real easy, dan@gocards.com. Or you have any type of NIL thing that you might be interested in, or Dugout Club for supporting us. I have the QR code here, and I have a couple things. I'm going to show one quick last-minute video, and this is a celebration for all of you because the Super Regionals last year was amazing, and it gave me and our players so much life and energy and hope, not just for last year, but really, as I like to say, springboarded us to the future. So check out some of these amazing clips at Jim Patterson Stadium over the years.
courtside, folks. Take a good look at Josh Stores.
The Louisville fans don't want to see it happen to their number 7 national seed Louisville Cardinals. They get on their feet here at Patterson Stadium. Pollock's pitch. Got it! And the train conductor loves him. He toots the horn.
Solak rips the first pitch he sees for a 2-run home run, and Louisville is back on top. The freshman from Woodridge, Illinois, Nick Solak, is in the zone at exactly the right time.
Eddie King Jr. has been red hot down the stretch. The cleanup man, the senior from Chicago. He swings and crushes one deep to left center field. 3-1 Louisville.
Well, thanks to all the wonderful fans. And thank you for all you do for this community. It really inspires me. It's an honor to be here today, and it makes me want to do more. My wife Julie and I to continue to love back in this community that has loved us so much. So again, thank you very much for having me. This can raffle on that.
All right,
Please.
you can. Amy, you want to come up and wrap? And giveaways too, right?
Yeah. Delane.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank everybody who has given to the Polio Plus campaign in the last few days. We've talked to you about it a couple of times, how important it is. As you know, last Thursday was World Polio Day, and we have a good number of donations. I think we're well on our way, if we're not there already, to meeting our $10,000 goal for Polio Plus this year. So we'll see how all that turns out. So now we have 2 prizes that we already had to give away, and one is this bottle of bourbon, one is 500 Paul Harris Fellow points, and then I guess we're going to auction this off, as well, these gifts from our speakers. So, well, I don't know if I'm the right auction person. That sounds more like a Barbara thing.
I'm not being drafted.
It's called delegation. But first, we're going to draw names from the donors to Polio Plus and see who gets the bottle of bourbon and the Paul Harris Fellow. Is Bridget Johnson. Are you here, Bridget? She's not here. Clap for her anyway. Second name is my own Rena Sharp, and I know she's not here either. So we'll sort this out. Who gets the bottle of bourbon? Oh, Bridget was here? Okay. We'll give her first choice then of the 2 things to be auctioned, or to be awarded. So thanks again, everybody, for giving to Polio Plus. Please keep the foundation in your mind as we get close to year-end giving here. I know that's a big time for a lot of people. And I am going to ask you, Barbara, if you would auction these items that our speaker donated.
Okay,
A shirt and a book.
Okay, Coach, come out. Come out. All right.
That's a first time in my life I ever drafted a college baseball coach. Okay, you've been drafted, buddy. Okay, here we go. So now let's see here. What have we got? Oh, Louisville baseball camp. Now, Coach, we're going to have a sidebar conversation.
Not only will I sign it, I'll offer a spot in our camp. For a kid, it's got to be under.
Oh, just when y'all thought this was a $39.95 or a $49.95 shirt. No, Here we go. Coach has said he's going to sign the shirt. Okay, so y'all, okay. I love you, man. All right, and you're going to also offer a spot in
our camp. We have 2 one-day camps in January called spring training camps, and just has to be middle school and down. So it can't be for a high school age kid, NCAY. So if you have a middle school child or a grandson below the age of 8th grade and down, we'll give them a spot in our camp.
Okay, now, does that mean some of the players are at this camp too?
All the players are at the camp.
Oh, man. So if you get the shirt and he got his signature, you know what the kid you're going to send is going to do, right? They're going to take the shirt and they're going to get everybody to sign the shirt. Okay, all right, here we go. You ready to go? What do you get? Let's start the bidding at $100. $100, what do you give? Whoa, got 100. Got 125. Got 125. Got 125. But 150. 150. Okay, do I have 175? No, 175. What do you give? 175 in the back of the room. What do you give? What do you give me? Let's go. Go on, is it 175? You give me 185. 185 up in the front of the room. What do you give? Give me 200. 200. I got 2 right here. I got 220 in the back. 220 in the back. Okay, what do you give? I'm looking for 250. Looking for 250. What do you give? What do you give me? Coach, you gonna give me anything else to put on that shirt? Okay, all right. Now, Coach, I don't even know where the bidding is and who the last bidder was. Well, everybody in the back of the room is pointing at Renee Brown. Renee Brown, what's your bid right now, buddy? 220. I got 220. I got 220. I got 220. I got 220. Going once. Going twice. 250. 250 to the man. All right, everybody in the front row, I want you to know Renee Brown bid against himself on purpose. Because that's the kind of guy. Okay, Coach, that's Colonel Renee Brown back there. That's it.
I know Pastor Brown. Is it good if you know Pastor Brown about it?
It is very good. Okay, now we're chasing excellence. Okay, here we go. We got those really 3 stories in here about CrossFit. You did CrossFit, buddy?
No, I did not.
No, you did not.
The lessons are priceless.
Okay, priceless lessons. Are you going to autograph that book?
I thought we were just pulling the name out of the hat. But you're trying
Okay, go pull the name out of the hat.
And I will sign it. I'll sign it.
Okay. I thought we were pretty good at the auctioning. Okay. Oh my Lord, is Brad Smith in the house? Brad Smith? You gotta be present to win. Coach is making up the rules. Okay, all right, now Alex Novak, come on down. Lord have mercy. All right, congratulations, Alex. And Renee Brown, thank you again. You're going to get this shirt. You're going to get to send a kid to camp. You're going to have an autograph, and you're going to meet all the players. How about it? Coach, thank you so much. Great job.
Coach has agreed to questions. I'm going to let Barbara talk about next week, and then we'll do questions. And if you can't stay, I understand.
We're doing it next week, then?
Okay, I'm supposed to make a quick announcement about next week before the coach comes back up, and for those that would like to stay and can stay, that are not on the nominating committee, because the nominating committee's got to go in the boardroom and have a meeting. Okay, here we go. Next week, just remember, we will not be here. We will not be here at the university, and we will not be having a full-blown formal Rotary meeting. What we will be doing is we're going to be at a meeting at the Kentucky International Convention Center for the Canopy Good Business Summit. And the lunch buffet is gonna open at 1:05. You scan the QR code to get your lunch reservation. President Ken is gonna ring the bell at 11:30 there, and I believe he will lead the group in the four-way test. However, the speakers there at the lunch meeting will be Robert Egger, he's a trailblazer with the community kitchen concept. You may be familiar with that, it's a movement. And then Al Snow, all of my WWE fans in the house, Al Snow, superstar turned global wrestling innovator, will be speaking. And one of our members from Rotary Club of Louisville is going to receive an Impact Award. And one of the Shawnee High School members, students, is going to present their Business Beyond pitch, Business Beyond Profit pitch, and they're going to receive an award. And then you're going to also be eligible to visit the Mission Marketplace tables, where you can stop by your forever fabulous Rotary table, as well as several other member tables. President Ken, you ready to take over? Okay, here we go. Oh, that's my, okay, where's the code? You're asking questions? I'm gonna go turn that alarm off. My purse is ringing, sir.
Coach, I want to thank you for being here today. This is most enjoyable. I've looked forward to this since I've seen you being on the schedule. A couple of questions, comments. First of all, I played on a state championship baseball team before you were born. And the only regret that I have in life is that I didn't try out for the baseball team. This was at Vanderbilt when they were not good. But anyway, so I became a coach. So I coached Justin Amlin in Little League. And he was one of the most delightful young men. I'm pretty sure you know what's going on with him. Justin played 4 years at the University of Louisville. He was, in 2012, he was Big East Pitcher of the Year. He played all 4 years. He got an engineering degree at that same time, too. He said he was going to try for Major League Baseball. He didn't make it, but he gave himself 5 years. He did all the minor league stuff. At the same time, getting a master's in engineering. Now he's in Cincinnati at an engineering firm as senior vice president there. I mean, it's just one of the things that those are the kind of players that you have recruited over the years. And another local kid done well. And then the second one is Will Smith. We all know about Will, but what you may not know is that Will comes down to the West End School, which I'm on the board, every year with 150 signed baseballs. And he's just a remarkable young man, too, baby face and all. And a question I have is, do you have any stories about Justin or Will that are funny or something like that that you could share with us? But thank you once again. It's just so good.
Thank you, and I love the Vanderbilt rivalry. It's called the Battle of the Barrel. We only play once a year, whether it's here at Jim Patterson Stadium this coming season. It'll be down in Nashville on a Tuesday night. ESPN always picks it up. It's always Carl Ravitch or Chris Burke or a combination of them. It's a big deal in college baseball, so it's become a great baseball rivalry. The comments as to Amlon and Will Smith. Justin Amlon was a catcher at St. X and didn't start pitching till literally like his senior year. And we didn't even offer him a spot. I always tell the story, similar to Adam Duvall was one of the last players that we took in. Just goes to show you we're not always the smartest coaches, and sometimes we're a little slow to the party, but we had Jake Odorizzi, was a first-round draft pick. He had signed with us from right outside of St. Louis on the Illinois border, and when he was a first-round draft pick, he decided he wasn't going to come to Louisville, so it opened up a spot, and they said, hey, the Amlon kid is still available. And so we called Justin Amlon up in June and said, we have a spot for you. Do you want to come? And I always tell that story because there was no entitlement, wasn't overpromised, and Justin just came in and went from redshirting to 1 inning to 2 innings to a midweek start to a Sunday start to, before you know it, it's the best pitcher in the conference. And did it while he was getting a degree in engineering, and it's why he is super successful today. So a lot of local great stories, and it's our first priority in recruiting. We have to get the best local players. Thank you.
I did stay up all 18 innings the other night, game 3 to 3 in the morning, but Will Smith could have won that earlier. He hit one of the wall that everybody, including him, I think, thought it was gone. So it could have been less than nice. But tell us about your team this year. The rumors are it's pretty good.
Because you finish in the top 4 in the country, and even though you lose some superstars, Patrick Forbes is a first-round draft pick. We lose pitchers like Tucker Biven, Justin West. We lose hitters like Eddie King, Jake Monroe, Matt Klein, our catcher from Trinity High School. So we obviously lost some star power. We did return a good amount of star power. And so right now, the country is high on us because of Lucas Moore, our center fielder, led the country in stolen bases. Alex Alicea, our switching shortstop, is the toughest kid and, in my opinion, the best player on the field most days. Zion Rose is a superstar that fortunately has chosen to stay with us in a world where people are tugging on him and trying to steal him by offering more money. He's been very loyal from day one out of high school to, we went through a tough year his freshman year to even last year. And then Tate Davis is our first baseman, made that great stretch you saw in the video. Also very loyal, sticks with us. When I say loyal, it just means these kids on the open market could make twice as much, let's call it, as maybe they might make here. It's clearly not all about money, but it's something we have to fight to get great players, but then to keep great players. You have to love on them because other schools are loving on them, at least monetarily, and that's kind of the athletic world we're in right now. So it'll start with those 4 hitters, and then of course, on the mound, local guys like Ty Stark, like Jake Greger, like Jake Schweitzer. You saw turn that great double play comebacker to the pitcher. Fortunately, the longer they're in our program, the better they get. And so we hope each year they continue to get better and better. But we open up this year, it's always Valentine's Day weekend. How can you forget opening day, right? If you know Valentine's Day weekend. And so it's always around that Friday. And we're actually at home this year against Michigan State. And then the next weekend, we go down to Globe Life Stadium, which is where the Rangers play. And that's an indoor facility. It's beautiful. Last year, we opened up at Globe Life. This year, it's weekend, too. And it's a fun trip, direct flight to Dallas, hotels within walking distance to the stadium. It's a really fun baseball trip. But we'll have 34 home games this year. As I said, the Vanderbilt game will be in Nashville, but we'll always play Kentucky at home. This year, Indiana will be at home. Western Kentucky's at home. So I always call those other cross-state or in-state rivals. Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for all you do. And last year when you went down there, you made Coach Here for Kids Day. He went down to that tournament.
And they're going to do that again.
They're going to do it again this year, yeah. So those are the kind of things Coach does that nobody hears about. It's just awesome. So appreciate your time today. Appreciate all you. Have a great weekend. May all your teams win.